Well, it is miserable outside. It's wet, it's cold. So I'm inside the kitchen. I'm going to make some cheese. I made cheese many years ago, and I want to make some again. Hi, it's Elise. I'm glad you stopped by. As I said, I made cheese many years ago and basically forgot how I made it. I knew it was really simple. This version. Now this is a soft crumble cheese, kind of like feta or ricotta, a soft crumble. Very easy. Just a couple of ingredients. Milk, and you want to use whole milk. And according to all the various sites that I read on the internet, you can use pasteurized, raw, homogenized, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't use that ultra pasteurized and homogenized milk. So you start it off on a heavy bottom pot on a medium-high heat, or a medium heat. Again, depending upon your stove. Now, if you see something in the background, I've got peanuts on boiling, but I've got them down low because I didn't want them to splatter over into my milk. And they smell really good. All right, so I've got some milk on here, a medium-high heat, nice heavy pot. This is just a half gallon of whole milk. The idea is you stir it almost constantly so that it doesn't scorch, excuse me, or the milk does not stick to the bottom of the pan. It's going to take it just a few moments to get started. Now, on some versions of making cheese, you use a thermometer, and when it gets to a certain heat, then that's processed, that part. Basically, this soft type of cheese, you're separating the curds from the whey. And the curds are those chunky pieces of cheese, and the whey is the liquid that's left over. And I always think of the Little Miss Muffet's rhyme. Little Miss Muffet sat on the top of it eating her curds and whey. I never knew that was cheese when I was a child. All right, so when this gets warm, and I've got my stopwatch on because I want to see how long it's going to take. When this starts bubbling and gets to the boiling point, you either turn your burner off or you turn it down on low, again depending upon what site you read on the internet. And then you're going to add some type of acid. Vinegar, white vinegar, distilled vinegar, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, acetic acid, anything that has some acidity to it. And what that is going to do is make those curds separate and bunch together. And you'll get your curds. What is left is called whey. W-H-E-Y. Don't throw it away though. That whey is nutritious, and lots of folks drink it, and you can cook with it. You can give it to your animals. You can make fertilizer with it, which is what I'm going to do. And that's why I'm not adding salt now. And in lots of folks or lots of recipes, it does call for salt from the very beginning. But that is optional. That's something you don't have to do at all, or you do it after it has set and you've separated it from the rest of the milk. But you can take that whey out, dilute it down, and it makes a really good fertilizer because the whey is very nutritional. Has some calcium and magnesium, some protein, some nitrogen, all really good stuff. So I'm going to turn the camera off and let this come up to a boil, and I'll be back. It's been 17 minutes, which is, I thought, a really long time. The milk is boiling, and it started all at once, and now it's going to just boil over. That happens sometimes, and I just cleaned my stove. All right, so I took it off of the burner. I turned the burner off. I'm going to go ahead and add some vinegar. Oh, about 1/4 of a cup to start with. Move the camera a little bit. And stir. Oh look, already curds. I'm going to add just a little bit more vinegar. Wow, look how fast that did that. I'm just going to keep stirring for a few moments. Now, some recipes call for you to just add your vinegar, stir a little bit, take it off the heat, put a lid on it, and come back 15-20 minutes later. Look at that. I'm not going to put a lid on mine and walk off and leave it. I am going to let it sit a few moments. Make sure all of it has curded up that it wants to. Wow, that was fast. Now, your time is going to vary based on the temperature of your stove, based on your pot. And I stirred this the whole time, but I think I see a little scorch mark. Well, I'm going to scoop that off and try it anyway. Okay, I've moved over to the counter. I have a big bowl. I have a fine mesh strainer. Now, it is recommended that you use muslin, cheesecloth, paper towels, or a nice clean washcloth, and that's what I'm doing. I have this nice clean white washcloth, so I'm just going to start dipping it out. Now, you can just pour your whole pot over in here. It's up to you. Nice sized chunks. And again, I haven't salted this yet, so I can use this for a fertilizer. The juice that's left behind, the whey, I can use as a fertilizer. And I will dilute it just a little bit. So, this is kind of a gardening show on my gardening channel, because I will be using this out in the garden. And I haven't really looked into it, but from what I understand, there's other types of cheeses and products that you can make from the whey itself. Nice. I was really surprised at the amount of curds and how large they were. Now, you can also use lemon juice as your acetic acid. And this is really close to what you would make cream cheese with. Now, it might be a little faster to go ahead and pour your pot over, but frankly, I didn't want to deal with the hot liquid and pouring the hot liquid. So that's it. I'm going to move that out of the way. Now what you want to do is express all of the liquid out of this as you possibly can. And the easiest way to do it is to take your paper towel, cheesecloth, muslin, your tea towel, anything, and squeeze. I'm going to let that sit for just a few moments because that is so hot I can't handle it. I let this sit and cool some, and it's also been dripping down in the bowl. So now you want to take your material, whatever you're using, gather it up, twist it around, and squeeze. You want to get all of that liquid out. Now you can also put this in a press or a cheese block, whatever you'd like to do. But you just want to get all that liquid out. And again, this is good stuff. That's whey. I'm going to make fertilizer out of that. So now I have a little bowl. I'm going to dump this out. And it's already compressing. Look at that. Now this is a soft crumble cheese. Wow. Fantastic in salads, to top toast, anything you want to use it for. If you want a creamier cheese, you can make half of your blend heavy cream. Smells great. Taste some of it. A little bland. Need some salt. I'm just going to sprinkle a little sea salt on it. At this point, now you can add herbs, garlic, even whip in a little butter, onions, basil, anything you want to put in, and make it herbed cheese. Try that. Much better. Yes. Now, you can form this in any way you want to form it. You can leave it soft crumbled, or you can just press it down and make a more solid block. If you have a little rectangle container, a little old-fashioned butter bowl or cheese bowl, you could put it in there, and once it solidifies, you'll be able to slice it just like you would cheese. That was really good after I added some salt. Definitely needed a little salt. And some folks put pepper, cayenne pepper, and you can make it savory, spicy, sweet, whatever you would like to do. But that's basically it. And when you go to various types of cheeses, you'll have just a little different technique. The next one I make, I'm going to use lemon juice, and I'm going to add some heavy cream because I want to take it more to the cream cheese end of the cheese making spectrum. And then all you do is, once it gets past the curd stage, you put it in your blender and blend it up really, really fine, which you could do to this too. So that's my cheese. Isn't that nice? Wow, how easy. Now, my whey. I am going to save my whey since I didn't salt the water. And I saved my milk jug, and I'll have a funnel, and I'll just put the whey back into the milk jug. Now, from what I have read, it is suggested that you dilute the whey down a little bit if you're using it on small plants. And I have some young seedlings that I want to use this on. If you're putting it on a plant in the ground, an established shrub or something, you could just pour the full whey around it. But very nutritious, has lots of good stuff for your plants. And I know people who give it to their animals, their livestock. I do not know about dogs and cats. That's something you would have to look into. But they give it to their livestock, especially chickens, because it does have protein in it. And protein, from what I understand, helps chickens to lay eggs better. Or a better quality egg, I should say. But that's how easy it is. A few minutes standing at the stove, stirring. It's very forgiving. You know, as you saw, I boiled mine over the pot, and it's still set up perfectly. It's just gorgeous. Well, I poured my whey back into my container. and I wrote on it what it was. And I've already added some water to it to dilute it. So this is ready to go. I'm not really picky about the dilution, but I had maybe half of this container full of the whey, and you can see I diluted about that much water. I'm not worried about it being just perfect. And my son asked, was I going to go ahead and share the video, although the milk boiled over and things like that. I said, sure. I'm not a cooking channel. I don't have a studio. Oops, I'm not set up to cook. I just share because I enjoy doing this, on especially days that we can't get outside. This is real life, and in real life, the milk boils over. The milk scalds. All right, I have toasted a few little pieces of bread. I used the butter on it that I made the other day. So now I'm going to come in and put a little bit of my cheese. As I said, next time I make this, I'm going to use lemon juice, and I'm going to add some heavy cream and make it a creamy type of cheese. The crumbles are great, and they'll be good on salads and stuff like that. But for your toast points, things like that, maybe a little creamier. But you know, just like gardening, it's all a big experiment. All right. So next time I know. Now I could toast this a little bit more if I wanted to, but I'm going to add some chunky peach salsa. Yum. Now you can make this savory. You can make it sweet. You can add jams and jellies. You can add fruit toppings. Anything that you want. Use any bread. You can use French bread, anything. Now this is just half of a hoagie roll because that's what I had. And you know my philosophy is use what you have when you have it. Excuse me. That is so good. Wow. It really is good. Definitely, I will make some more of those. But that's how easy it is. So, from this half a gallon of milk, I got a really nice container of cheese. I have a container of whey that I can feed my plants with and use as fertilizer. And I have a good lunch snack. Wasn't hard at all. I hope this is something that you can make. It really is a joy to do it. I'm not a homestead. I don't have a big family. I don't have a milk cow, so I don't have lots of milk that I need to use up. But I really enjoy doing stuff like this, learning how to do it, and knowing that if something ever did come along and I needed to know how to make butter or a basic cheese, I could do it. Really neat. All right. Earlier I showed you my peanuts. I just want to make one little mention about them. I did not add salt to my peanuts either while they were cooking because you can use that peanut juice out in your garden. And you can always drain all your good juice off and save it. Put a little more clean water back in with your peanuts. Add your salt then and let them cook a little bit more, and you'll still get that nice little salt flavor. But I don't add a lots of salt to my peanuts anyway. I try to keep them as natural and healthy as possible. And you really don't need to add salt while you're cooking them. If you put salt on them afterwards, you'll still get a little of that salt impact without that puckering mouth saltness, which actually makes them really good. All right, I've got to eat this. That is the best little snack thing I have had in a long time. Yum. I think next I'm going to try it with some red berry jam. I hope you can help my channel grow by sharing, liking, subscribing. Please watch the video in its entirety. YouTube actually tracks the length of time every video is watched. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Till we speak again. I hope you have a fantastic day.